Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Monday Q&A call. Let me reset that. This needs a proper introduction. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Monday Q&A call on the speakerfocus.com platform. I am Kevin T. Robertson, proud CEO of the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing. We are here to tackle the difficult questions about growing your speaker brand. If you are struggling, if you are suffering some deficiencies, some limitations, if you got some doubts, if you got some fears, if you got some shit that's on your mind that you are dealing with, and you simply do not know how to get by it, this is the platform. You can always rely on the trusted advisors by the name of Auston Troyer and Kevin T. Robertson. We are here to tackle the tough questions. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you for the support tickets you've been sending in lately. We have grown tremendously in specific over the last 3 to 6 months. And it is the reason why is because of subject matter experts like yourself. Let me tell you, to start off my monologue, Alex, I see your hand up. I'll be right with you. To start off the dialogue in my monologue for today's session, I am simply going to say you are absolutely nowhere if you do not know how to build relationships, and your speaker business will suffer if you do not know how to shake hands and bond with people on a global platform. So I want to take the time right now, because a lot of times we just take shit for granted and we don't give shout outs to people who deserve it. I want to give a shout out to people all across the United States. We do business with people in every single state in the United States. I want to give a special shout out to the UK because they love us like I have never seen love ever in my life. I want to give a shout out to the people down there by the Gold Coast of Africa, New Zealand area, Copenhagen, Denmark, Amsterdam, France. I mean, Italy, Greece, North Africa. I could just go on and on and on. They are coming out the woodwork right now. See, ladies and gentlemen, when you build it the right way, perhaps you don't set out seeing it that you're going to do business all over the world, but all it takes is one booking. All it takes is one client for your consulting. All it takes is one pivotal client in your coaching program, and it will absolutely change the trajectory of where your business is growing and going. So I don't care where you are right now. I don't care what type of difficulties or setbacks that you've had. Baby, it's all about getting the information, acquiring resource, and allocating that knowledge to get you to a higher level. If you're not training, you're not growing. So I force myself to learn new things every single day and just deal with the consequences that is required for you to be an entrepreneur. We're all in it together. We are all in the struggle together, and we are here to help alleviate that pain. Remember, building relationships, you have to make that thing the go-to, because without it, you are incapable of getting to the level that you deserve to be in business. Alex Bryant, you were in total control, brother. How can we help you on the speakerfocus.com platform? Always nice to hear from you. Alex, talk to me, brother. Can you hear me?
Hey, KTR, I can hear you.
Okay. How you feeling today, boss?
I'm feeling better. And it's good to hear everybody, like Lisa and Rafa and Ed. Yeah, so I know I texted you a while ago because I had my speaking engagement in Canada and Vancouver. And I know I provided some tips before I pursued that engagement. It went brilliantly. I guess like some of the specs, just to give people context, I did a graphics conference in Vancouver. They asked me to be a roving reporter. I'll be talking with a variety of attendees, guests, clients, sponsors, that kind of stuff, and talk about their experiences. It was a hybrid conference. So I was basically talking to virtual attendees. Basically, one of my goals was to encourage them to join the in-person conference for their 50th year next year, which will be hosted in Los Angeles. And then from those results, I was speaking to 30,000 people in 26 countries around the world.
Yeah.
So that not intimidating. I wanted to know that after I did all that. So I was doing that for 4 days. They had me work 4 hours a day. They paid me to reflect that. I advocated for that. I was able to bring my fiance to come. They paid for the per diem, the travel, hotel, meal per diem,
Yeah.
car to and from the conference to the hotel, because some days it was raining, some days it was okay.
That's right.
So I advocate for all of that. So please make sure you do that, and also double check that they are complying with your contract. So one of the things I did tell KTR that I did caught the virus like a day after the conference, but fortunately I got that when I landed back in Austin and not in Vancouver. But in that contract, I did tell them like if I couldn't come back and I couldn't fly, because Canada had very strict rules in regards to that, like they would have to pay for my stay for the 10 days of quarantine.
Right.
And then they had to write a formal letter to my company if I had to stay. Like all this was written in that contract. So every little detail, and just make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's is the big thing.
Absolutely.
And then they booked me for 2 more years. So because of how successful it went. I just wanted to give people a win and to keep going, and people notice. So don't just think of it just for the one-time gig, but people might be thinking of you for like other opportunities as well. So
yeah. Well, Alex, it's amazing that you share that caliber of information. We surely appreciate you, logging back into the Q&A and sharing that. Alex, let's go back a little bit, because people seem to think that this only happens to special speakers, or the fact that you have worked with some high profile people in the past, and you won all these awards and all this kind of stuff, and like it just happens for people like you. So let's just dispel that myth, because clearly when you were working for a lot of these high profile people, these opportunities were not happening to you. So explain to me why this is happening right now in specific. What do you think it is? You think Alex, your fiance sprinkle some magic dust and all of a sudden it just started happening. Is that it?
No, that's not it. And it's the hardcore.
Bro, you really got to break it down, man, because you just don't go from, like, in a year, you just don't go from where you are. Like, you're just breaking out all over the place right now. There's a reason why. And I was being facetious when I said that before, but can you just share with our platform why that is, that these things are happening for you right now?
I think it's because of my being prepared, like being ready, because there's some people that they've reached out to and they were not ready. Could you do this? Like with, I told them to come to me. They went to, and I initially declined them because they said my rate is this rate now. They're like, oh wow, because I've been doing all this other stuff.
Right.
I don't have time to be doing what they used to do. So they reached out to other people, and then they weren't prepared. They didn't have the caliber and the stuff that I had. That was not about bragging or anything. It was just like they just weren't ready.
Okay.
And they didn't have the time to be ready. So like when KTR speaks about getting your speaker toolkit ready, and mine was ready, they were like, wow, you got this together. They liked all the details, they like how I broke things down, and they're like, okay, this is why we should, that's why I told them to come back to me, see if they can figure it out, and the stuff that I wanted and needed, and see if they can make it happen. And I was willing to walk away, because I was like, I'm getting married at the end of the year. I don't have time to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe,
Right.
So
right. Oh, real quick, Alex.
Yeah.
How did you get past, and one of your support tickets, you were a little hesitant perhaps about asking for that big of a fee, but how did you get past that mindset of, hey, like, I'm worthy of this? How did you get from where you used to be, maybe when you were a little bit hesitant, to where you are right now? What was the pivotal moment?
That's a good question. I would say it's more of just like we all of us have, we're all like subject experts at something, you know, and someone needs to hear what you need to what you need to say. You know, it could be a story that makes someone in the audience to make a very transformative decision, or it could be to apply a skill that you're teaching in a workshop or something like that. So I felt like I said, yeah, I do have something to share, and I do feel it's going to be useful, you know. And then the right people will come, you know. Just like you said, like you got to have a strong no. Like you can't just accept every old thing.
Right.
So like I said, I was willing to walk away. You know, they were paying me a decent amount, but then I was just like, well, no, I've done all this other stuff. I'm worthy of this new rate.
Okay.
As a speaker, you know, and then, you know, they were having me for multiple days. It wasn't like a one-day event and come out and fly me out. It's multiple days. So I needed to have a compensation or some type of word that like allocate that to, you know, make sense. So I was willing to do that. You know, I think when I was younger, I was just very like hesitant, as just being shy and bullied and stuff like that, and just let people take advantage.
Right.
So doing the research and, you know, going through the speaker focus program, you basically, you show the how and the why, you know, and if that's not aligned, then you need to go back to module 1 again and go through those key concepts, like if this is something you really want to do and meant to do. So
right.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's a nice piece to have in your arsenal right now, that when you are getting approached to speak, as you see what happens, all it takes is one gig. And I just had a conversation with one of my prospects that I was talking to schedule called me today, and he was having a really difficult time understanding why he's not a high fee speaker. I said, well, one low fee speaking engagement begets another low fee speaking engagement. So I said, when you're not ready, what I told him, you don't have any leverage, you don't have the right messaging, or you don't have the right, I should say instead of and you don't have the right sales tools, like a speaker info kit, speaker video demo website that is meeting planner friendly and leadership centric, then all you do is attract shoe flies. He said, I never heard that term before. I said, shoe flies. When you step in some crap, flies are just going to follow you around. Do you want to keep attracting those kind of opportunities, or do you want to attract the bigger ones? Alex had a quality speaking engagement, and he just got booked for 2 more quality speaking engagement with the same organization. See, this is what happens when they respect your professional credentials to the highest level. They're going to give you your luxury business class accommodations for 2. They're going to give you ground transportation to and from your home or to a city destination airport. You're not going to have to come out of pocket for anything. They're going to give you the meal per diem. But if you don't ask for it, they aren't going to give you anything. And this is the start of it all, from messaging to sales tools to just going through the whole process and just taking the pain. I mean, Alex is telling you, if you listening to him, that he had to overcome that being shy and asking for it. Now he has a flourishing speaker career, not by accident, because he actually did the work. Alex, that's why we're always proud of you. It's always a pleasure to be associated with you. Your brand is growing. You know, I'm like a mad scientist, Alex. I'm able to evaluate talent. I saw this a long time ago. I was telling you that this was going to happen, and now it is.
You did.
I'm not trying to be right. I just know what I'm talking about because I've been through it before. When you take the action steps, you'll get the results. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Let me tell you something. It only gets better from here. And I hope that when it really starts blowing up on the next level, that you don't just embrace the fear, because when it starts happening fast and it starts happening big, it's another shock point in your career. But I'm sure you're going to be able to handle and manage and overcome that, just like you've done everything else. So keep it rocking. Got anything else you want to share?
Appreciate it. Now I'm just like, you're looking very fly today with the hat and the suit and the tie going on, the black and white feel.
You know, listen, man, it's a dinner. This is my dinner attire this evening, and this is the dinner hour. So I dress appropriately and accordingly. And the fall is just a couple of days away, brother. And I am just feeling absolutely amazing. I'm down 15 pounds. I got my cellular health internally, my gut support all locked in now, man. I'm eating really clean. drinking tons of water every day, man. It's just so much easier when you have your focus. And I just feel thankful, Alex, to be at this place and this time right here in my life. And we got the Speaker Focus Showcase coming up in October and in January, man. It is some amazing things happening right now. You just got to take the first step, and my God, will it change your life?
Yeah, I'm excited. When you showed me about the showcase, I was just like, wow, that's going to be a really cool opportunity, not just for the speakers you have, but also the people it's going to touch as well. And I know everyone, like myself, appreciate all the work that you and Austin are doing for this community and beyond.
Oh, man. Well, you're more than welcome. And we thank you as well, Alex. And I'm sure we'll be talking as well. Glad you are back to 100% recovering from COVID, man. We need you in the game. That's for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Love you, man. Talk to you real soon. Okay, everyone. Man, it is always nice to hear wins. I love it when people show up on the platform with their wins. A win is not just booking a speaking engagement and making money, because let's face it, if you haven't understood what my style is by now, and you don't understand that the money is there, but it is not going to come, and I'm not being a Debbie Downer here, but the money's not going to come unless you put the work in. See, I don't promise you anything on this platform. I never have, and I never will. But what have I guaranteed you? I guaranteed you from the beginning, when you do the steps, the money will come. It's just that simple. It's not a promise. This is a guarantee. See, you got to be willing to live with the result, whether or not you're doing good or bad, whether or not you're hot or cold. You got to understand that the sum total of your efforts, input equals output, equals a result. What is your result going to be? I wanted to look sharp for dinner tonight, so I dressed the part. My result is going to be, I'm going to sit down and eat a clean and healthy meal, knowing that I'm going to be in the company of an occasion that's befitting of my attire. That's all you have to do. Whatever you feel on the inside is going to show up on the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, please believe me. Lisa Almond Baldwin, talk to me. Wait a minute. Oh, Lisa, wait. Let me try that again. Lisa Almond Baldwin, talk to me.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. That was my bad. I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. And I'm going to echo what Alex said about you looking sharp there. And I can see in your face the weight you've lost. So looking good.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I've been putting in a lot of hard work. Listen, I'm like somebody that's been in rehab. I just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. That's it. Believe me, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I got to be honest with you, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Excellent. Okay, so I have a few things tonight. Also, I want to share a win. So,
yeah.
Last
With the Microsoft people.
What's that?
With the Microsoft meeting?
Oh, well, no, that's the next one I'll get to. But
okay, I'm sorry. I got it.
I know you're getting all excited.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, so last year, so I started the program, I think it was April last year. And so, you were helping me getting my speaker info kit together and all of that. And in July, I met a friend of a friend who, after we got talking, she's on the board of a spiritual retreat. And they, and we've become close friends since. But anyway, they had invited me to be a speaker. So this was as of last November, that it was booked for this past September, this past Labor Day weekend. So it wasn't one of the high fee ones, but I was just very beginning. But what got me the gig was the speaker info kit. So I just want to say to everybody out there, that speaker info kit, I mean, the first thing they said was, this is perfect. We can see what you do, what you've done before, what you're about. So, so follow what KTR and Austin have laid out, because it does work. And in this year since, I've submitted it to so many different places, and I get the same type of feedback.
Yes, those seeds are getting planted. See what happened? Yeah. And then when somebody actually does respond, like, just because they didn't look at it the first email out doesn't mean they didn't see it. Right. And they just maybe haven't been in a looking or listening mood. But when they do finally get around to it, oh man, is it just, Lisa, watch what starts to happen towards the end of this year, beginning of next year. You're going to have a huge first quarter. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's just a win I wanted to share with everybody. And even though, you and I myself also, come on at different times and say we're disappointed because it doesn't seem like things are moving.
Yeah.
It's like growing a tree. You have to put the seed in and just keep watering it and just wait because it's gonna sprout to the ground.
Yeah.
So the retreat was this past Labor Day weekend. And so what came out of that is, first of all, my workshop, there were 2 workshops each day of the retreat, and people at the retreat, and this particular retreat has been going on for 46 years. So most of the people have been there before and everything, but at any rate, everyone attends the sessions and they have a choice of 2 different places. So basically you're going to get half of the people that are there. Well, I got more than half, I believe, and people kept coming. They had to go keep getting chairs. More people kept coming. There were people standing. There were people sitting on the floor. I mean, I was totally blown away. Out of that, I've gotten 2 invitations to come speak at other places. Don't know the details of it yet or anything, but had some initial conversations with people and switched business cards. And then I have everyone that bought my book, because a lot of people bought my book. Then I have all those people to follow up with. So again, just you never know who's going to be moved by what you're doing. You never know who's going to ask you to speak. I got such really good positive feedback, and 2 of the people who on the board of this organization for this retreat asked me if I would consider being on the board too.
Nice.
So that's, something there, and validating that what I have to say is valuable to people.
Yep. So, being on boards is another one of those feathers in your cap. When you start, I know we're not striving for status all the time, but when you reach a certain point, when people start asking you to be on the board, they want your talents on the board for a reason. Sometimes it's money, Lisa. Let me say that. I get a lot of offers to be on boards every month, but then sometimes they need your talent because they don't have that talent on the board. Sometimes they need your marketing ability. Sometimes they need your speaking and communication. Sometimes they need your graphic design. There's a reason why high power people, business professionals, want you on their board. And a board is like, it almost has the juice of like a fraternity. Like, fraternities are a very close-knit community. They stick together. They try to look out for each other for the most part. They create opportunity for each other just because you're a frat. Well, when you're a board member, oh man, let me tell you something about the kind of doors that can open up for you when you sit on the right kind of board, because typically board members are heavily integrated into the business community, and everybody belongs to a corporation and an association, and they could just keep passing your name around. When they know that it's value there, it's like a faucet you cannot shut off. So that's really, really good news to hear. And I'm so glad, Lisa, that you're getting these wins, because the last couple times you've been on the Q&A, with the exception of the last 2, maybe the last 3 to 5 before that, man, has it been rough for you? So
yeah, it's rough.
It was rough. I was like, oh man, no. Look, Lisa, when you call and like your energy's not like really, really high, I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm talking to you right now, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. In my mind, I was like, no, say it's not so. It's Lisa Allman Baldwin. No, she can't be losing. No, Lisa's sad today. Oh man. But see, that's all part of the game.
That's part of it.
And just sometimes emotionally, that's just what it is. It's just riding the wave of a sales cycle. So you got some positive activity. So that's great. So, okay. So before we move on to another thing, tell me how you have potentially captured lightning in a bottle and perhaps leverage some of these opportunities from the exciting movement that you've been happening for you lately.
You mean overall?
Yeah, just overall, like the activity that's going on. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to follow up? Like, what's your strategy? How are you going to take it to another level to potentially monetize these opportunities?
Right. Well, I've been traveling. Well, I travel full time, so that's kind of, speaking to the choir. But the last 5 trips have been short ones where I usually am someplace weeks at a time, and I've just been a week at a time. So I've been bopping around a little bit. So
Right.
As of the end of next week, I'll be in one place for several weeks. So part of it is just getting back on the stick of going through my pipe drive and following up with, all the people I have in there, because I have different notifications on when I'm supposed to follow up. So I am behind on that.
Got you.
But I'm keeping up on that. Again, I'm going to follow up with these people I met from the retreat.
Mhm.
I observed kind of how different other people were doing their presentations, because there were several keynote speakers and then several workshop presenters.
Nice.
So I paid really good attention to what they were doing, what seemed to work, what people seemed to respond to, not in an attempt to copy, but to see what I might tweak a little bit, but still keeping with my personality. And I would say that the overall thing that worked is I was completely 100% myself.
Yeah.
Complete authenticity, and that's what people resonate with. So
Good.
yeah. So I just wanted to share that. So the next thing is, I had a strategy session last night with somebody who works for, I don't know if you're familiar with the organization, it's called Policy Link. And they're a National Research and Action Institute. And what they do is all their work is about advancing racial and economic equality, equity in the United States.
Yes.
So I had a strategy session with them last night, and how I got with this, it was with the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And how I got hooked up with him. And this is another thing for people listening, is that wasn't an outreach that I did cold call or that I saw them somewhere. It was through his wife, who happened to be at a presentation I made to a women's networking group. So again, you never know who's going to, say, I know somebody or what have you.
Okay.
So I talked to him last night, and they are very, very interested in bringing me on to do some things starting next year, because they have several things that they're rolling out between now and the end of the year that will play into that. But it's basically around, they have 90 employees. He said that they represent the United Nations, and it's all about getting them more connected. There's a lot of new people. He's going into his 4th year as the CEO. So, and the person who was there before was there 20 something years. So there's a little bit of changeover to a new person.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he said is he wants me to follow up with him middle December. We shopped a lot of ideas back and forth. I want to tell you, thank you again. When you were helping me with how to talk to the Microsoft person, you had said also maybe offering a follow-up to whatever work you do with them, 30, 60, or 90 days, so you can see progress. And so I mentioned that to him, and right away he said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because we have had people come in before at the beginning of the year to do intention setting and meditations and everything, but they were one-offs, and I'm not a one-off person. I'd rather have something longer like that.
Yep.
And he said those other people didn't stay around. So he was totally excited about that.
Good.
And he was excited. Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
No. I said planting the seeds. Excellent strategy so far. That's textbook from what, what I've been telling you. I gotta get this in here. Sometimes, Lisa, you would get a little bit down on yourself about like Lisa, I just got to say it, like Lisa Allman Baldwin has sent in probably, she's ranked probably number 2 or 3 out of the person who sends in the most support tickets in the history of this platform. And sometimes Lisa just wants to know that she's doing it right. Like, Lisa, sometimes you were second guessing yourself so much that I'm like, you are doing it right. Like, you are making the connections. Like, you're a sound business professional. And with the way you're talking to me right now, you are managing this situation exactly the way you're supposed to be. Now, obviously, you've been on the platform, you've been getting some coaching and some training, that always helps. But I said that to you in some of the support tickets. Hey, trust your judgment, trust your gut, trust the movement that you're making right now. And I'm so proud of you because I hear the confidence in your voice of what you're doing is working. See, it only takes one win to turn it all around.
Right.
For you to stop getting down on yourself. And I'm so happy for you right now because you're moving into I can feel it. Like, can you feel it? It's some kind of shift is happening because you weren't talking like this before.
Right. Right. Well, and I will say that I am the person that's always concerned with, doing it right, like, or am I doing it wrong? I mean, when I keep turning in support tickets, I kind of feel guilty, like almost like I'm bothering you, even though I know I'm not. But my brain is saying, God, woman, can't you think for yourself? Why do you have to keep asking, for pointers?
Yeah, because you're one of those overthinkers and overanalyzers. That's just how people are wired like that. Sometimes they just push it to the extreme. See, the same, and this goes for all of us. The same thing that makes us amazing is the same thing that is detrimental to us as well. Sometimes we have to learn to control it. Remember, that's all about self-discipline and emotional control. So you have to not be so hard on yourself. You have to let it happen organically. If you make a mistake, we make a mistake. If we mess up, we mess up. If we mix up a couple of words, we mix up a couple of words. It was a guy today on one of the strategy calls that I did. He said, wow, Kevin, I must admit, he said, I'm super conservative. He said, your language is, he said, I'm a little overwhelmed. I said, I told you in the beginning of the call, I am not for everybody. My kind of honesty is not for everybody. He was like, well, you got that right. He said, you just phrase things in such a way he said, I got to be honest with you. It just hurts. He said, am I saying it right? He said, yeah. Are you offended? I said, are you offended? I said, you should be offended if you don't have your shit wired tight. My job is not to make you like me. My job is to give you strategies so that you get results. And sometimes it's going to sting. It's going to hurt. But this is the price that you pay to get the results that you're achieving. At least, are you happy that I shared all those words with you that I did? Are you happy that I didn't take it easy on you up to this point? Are you satisfied with the level of service that you've been getting?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not one past a bunch of F-bombs either, because I talk like that sometimes, but I like it. I like it. I need my ass held to the fire. I need to be inspired. I need to be reminded. You never belittle me. You never talk me down. You never make it sound like I'm stupid, like you already told me something 5 times. You're like my biggest cheerleader, the way you send things back, and you keep telling me, okay, this, you could tweak this and tweak this, but keep with it. You're going to get results. I guarantee it. I'm here for you. I love you. So I'm completely over the moon happy, even when things aren't, going the way I would like them to at a certain point. I know they're coming. It's just, I have to wait it out and be diligent with it.
Yeah. Watch this, Lisa. That door is opening up for you.
Right.
That education though. See, class has been in session, but for you, school is about to be out. See, when you start connecting with the buyer of your professional services, you can clearly hear and see that whatever you said to them, they want to keep you engaged. See, that one-off stuff, what you're doing is you heard what the client said, the potential prospect. They said they're tired of dealing with the one-off people. They're tired of people coming in, doing a meditation, Reiki instructor, getting our energy in alignment. And then they come in there with the feel-good stuff. Not saying that doesn't work or that's not necessary, because it is. Mm-hmm. Then you leave them with nothing, or you don't ask for more business. And what that looks like in asking for more business, a one-off is a keynote. Asking for more business is setting the keynote up for potential consulting or training services, potential multi-day seminars, half-day programs, full-day programs, teleseminars, webinars, a licensed training program. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It only takes one company sometimes. One. We got speakers on our platform right now. They make $250,000 a year. They got one client. One client. That's it. They speak 3 times a month, make 250 grand a year because they put themselves in position to just deal with one client. Now, they may still be working a job, but can service that client through webinars, teleseminars, things of that nature, and still, they're like the ultimate project manager. Like, it's so many avenues that can open up for you. All you got to do is take the first step. Continue, Lisa. I love it.
Okay. And so what I did tell him, like I said, we talked for quite a while and we shopped a few ideas back and forth. And he said he wants me to touch back with him mid-December so we can talk about, January. So what I want to do is I want to send him a thank you, thank you for taking the time. Oh, and I had already ahead of time sent him my, because of the email connection with his wife. So he already had my speaker info kit, the video, and link to my website.
Yeah.
So I want to send him a thank you for yesterday. And what I wanted to know from you, oh, by the way, he was very impressed that I said I'd do a complete needs assessment prior to, so that I will know exactly where they want to go and all of that stuff. So I was thinking of you while I was talking to him.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an art and science behind it, Lisa, and you're following the system and the mechanism. I'm so happy for you. What were you gonna ask? What were you gonna ask me about the gift?
About the what?
About the gift? About you want to get him a gift, right?
No. I said I want to send him a thank you email.
Oh, you want to send him a thank you. You want to send him a thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to know is, one more thing. And this is for everybody else too, which I wasn't expecting. He said, I'm really excited about this. I'm going to talk to my board, but he's the CEO, so pretty much he makes the decision. And he said that we can have a couple sessions to lay out a few things. And what I wasn't expecting, he says, and by the way, I will pay you for your time, your planning time. So we didn't get into how much or whatever, but when we get to the point of me laying out the things that he and I talk about the next time, he said he's going to pay me for that.
Okay. So what's his position again? What's his title there?
He's the CEO.
He's the CEO. Okay. Remember this. Remember, you do not have the communication advantage with the same sex. You do, however, have it with the opposite sex. When you play your cards right, especially when it's professional, it's above board, just like everything sounds in this regard. Clearly, when a man offers to pay a woman for her professional services and it feels like business, like this feels, clearly he respects you. And that's what you want to achieve, ladies, out of a relationship with a man. All the women on our platform, I am so impressed when they come in, not batting their eyes at me, but they're focused on the prize. Don't look at, listen to what I say. Don't focus on how I look, because that's going to get you messed up every single time. So and I'm telling you this because women have a difficult time closing business because some men it's the way they approach you. They don't have your best interest in mind when it comes to getting the bag. All of that flirting and all that kind of stuff is great. But when a man has respect for your professional services, this is what it sounds like. So why does he want to pay you? He wants to pay you because he knows that you know what you're talking about, and that paying you for your time is opening up the door. Okay, guess what? You know what another signal that sends? I'm comfortable. I don't want her to think that I'm wasting her time. So I got to keep her engaged. I know that she charges money. Let me just find out what it is so I can get past it. That's level one. Level two is, okay, he's paying me for my time. So maybe the next time when you do the needs assessment and he says, well, Lisa, what do we owe you for your time? You can say, I'll tell you what, you can charge him something, maybe $500, $250, something small. But I tell you what, if you want to pay me for something, you can Cash App me, PayPal, whatever, the small amount, and we'll take that off of the fee that I'm going to be charging. Or I tell you what, we can just put this time towards us planning for the next event. Now you got to make sure that you got something real, like a date, a deposit coming in, and you know that they want you to present a virtual or a on-site boots on the ground presentation. So see, this kind of activity equals productivity. Activity equals productivity. Let me say it for the people. Activity equals productivity. If you're not active, do not expect any production. So your output, Lisa, right now is a sum total result of the input that you've been doing, planting the seeds. Lisa, in other words, you planted the seed. The sun has hit the ground. The seeds are still submerged under the dirt, but it's rained on it and you've watered it. It's some fertilizer, some nutrients are going into the ground. Now, all of a sudden you see just a little sprout pop up in the tree. It's catching some sun rays now, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And that is the cycle of growing a business and building it the right way. This is just music to my ears. This is textbook. You're doing it the right way. Play your cards right, keep sending in support tickets, and I will teach you how to turn that into some revenue for you and your business. You got anything else you want to share?
Yeah. So on this same one, like I said, I want to send him a thank you email just saying thank you for taking the time with me yesterday and all of that. What I want to know is, should I just keep it simple like that and say, you know, as we discussed, I'll contact you in November, or should I mention anything else, or maybe just kind of to throw back what we talked about, just say something like, you know, I'm looking forward to finding out more of your needs, and maybe in a sentence or two, add a few of the questions I would be asking from the needs assessment. How would you suggest I respond to him? I mean, send that.
You've already got the door open. He's already cooperative. He's communicative. He's already said he's interested in paying you. You don't need to say much. Okay. You don't need to say much. He already has your speaker info kit. He's already looked at the website. He already understands your value. What you need to do at this point in the game is put the date on the calendar of whenever he wants you to follow up with him, so you can get the thing popping at the top of the year. That's all you need to do. I would say this, if you want to add a nice personal touch to it, if I were you, you said you had communication with his wife. Is that correct? Or knew of his wife?
Yeah, I have communication with both of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what I would do if I were you. I would go to their Facebook page and their social media. I would ask them, find out what they like. Find out what he likes. If he likes cigars, send him a box of cigars. If he says, oh man, my favorite restaurant is, get him a gift card from his favorite restaurant, so him and his wife can go out to dinner. See, all these little personal touches. I do handwritten letters sometimes too. Why do you think sometimes some of you will receive a random call from me? It doesn't have nothing to do with business sometimes. Sometimes people are going through a rough time in their lives. So you got to be the type of person, I'm telling you, without your relationships, you're finished. You're through. You're all washed up. The personal touch in today's market, where nobody wants to get on the phone with you. Everybody wants you to talk to their virtual chat. Everybody's customer service is horrible. So find out what he likes. Find out what his wife likes. It doesn't have to be a lot, but if you can just zoom in on that. So when my clients, I talk to them all the time. So what's your favorite sports team? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? What do you like? I find out what they like. I find out what their wife's name is. I find out what the husband's name is. I get involved when I can, and the window opens, I get involved. So you have to, whatever the client will allow you to have and talk to them on that platform, they only have to give you just a little bit. But once you give me that little bit, oh, you're going to get something in the mail from me, or you're going to get a special invitation to something. I'm going to do something special for you to let you know that I care. See, it's the little things, and that little personal touch goes a long way in doing business. So if I were you, that's what I would do right now. That's more important than sending an email. Okay. Or you could just call them and ask them, hey, listen, I want to just send a token of my appreciation. You know, it's just something that I do in building relationships. What's you and your wife's favorite restaurant? Just ask them. Right. What's a place that you like to take your wife to locally? Oh, I like to go to McCormick and Schmidt's. Okay, say less. All right, maybe when I'm in town, we can do dinner there. Right. And then all of a sudden he forgets about it. He goes back to his job, and then boom, he gets a gift card in the mail for $200 so he can have a quality meal at a nice chop house. See how that works? Right. That's more important than the email. But the email is a great idea, but don't say too much because you already got that deal going in a direct. There's no resistance here with this deal. We don't have to convince him of anything. He's already there.
Right. Okay.
Shorten it up. Just get the date on the calendar when you need to talk to him about setting up the bag.
Right. Okay.
And if you need me to look at that email, please, I'll write it for you. You already know.
Right. Okay, so let's get to Microsoft. So just
Yes.
so everybody else knows what's going on. Someone from that same women's networking group was a different person. They connected me with the Blacks at Microsoft group representative. So while I was in Seattle, I had a meeting scheduled with her, and it was dinner. I offered to take her out to dinner. And the day before we're supposed to go, several hours before we're supposed to go, she texted me and she says, "Do you mind if I bring a friend of mine? She is a contact at an employee resource group at Amazon." So I said, right?
Yeah.
So I said, "Thank you, Jesus." And I said, "Of course she can come." So suffice to say, on my birthday, which I didn't tell him was my birthday, that's the only reason why I took the meeting, even though it was my birthday, I had a meeting with Microsoft and Amazon in the same dinner. So.
Hey, listen, Lisa.
God is good.
God is good. And this is very indicative and typical of the behavior that happens on the speakerfocus.com platform. People get the skill set, they get out there and they start working with the target buyer, and then they just start showing out. And that's just what's happening with you right now. I mean, really, Amazon and Microsoft
I know.
in the table. I mean, that's how you're going to come at us tonight with these kind of wins. I mean, we're overwhelmed.
Right. And that's what I was saying to myself. Really? Like, who gets Amazon and thing at the same time?
Yes, it's going to, watch this. Have I not been telling you that this kind of stuff is what's going to happen to you?
Right.
Have I been saying it?
You have been saying it. You have been saying it.
You just you're going to get your opportunities, but you you had to eat some shit before you could get to those opportunities. You had to go. Think about the movie Shawshank Redemption. Remember that movie with Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman? Remember how he was abused for years and years and years, wrongfully incarcerated? 30 years he spent in there. So they knew he knew that they weren't going to let him out. So guess what he did? He had to break out. And that's what you're doing right now. In order for him to break out and get to the other side where he could get to the beach and go snatch all the money out the bank, he had to swim through a tube full of waste that was 2 miles long.
Right.
But he made it.
Right.
How much waste are you willing to swim through to get to your speaker goals? And my God, have you been swimming through it, especially lately? So damn right do we want to celebrate. This is a celebration. Now, tell me how you're going to manage this great meeting between Amazon and Microsoft. What comes out of it? Because these two companies, by the way, are huge, but they are in need.
Right. So the upshot of the Microsoft, and this might sound kind of funny. So what the woman was telling me is that internally, and and the other thing is just like what you said, Kevin, that people let their hair down a little bit when they're in more comfortable situations, because she definitely let her hair down, some stuff that she probably wouldn't have said if we were meeting on a strategy call. But
let me ask you, just for a data point, not to interrupt, but just to interject. Did anybody have a glass of wine?
No.
Okay. No. They didn't order a glass of wine a little bit later down the line?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking.
She suggested some restaurants, and I picked one of the ones that she picked. And then again, then she wanted to bring her friend who's also who worked for Amazon. So yeah.
Okay, no problem. Well, the bottom line is you got them in a relaxing atmosphere, and people do let their hair down because they're not in the office. They're not
Right.
behind the Zoom screen, right? It's a face-to-face meeting. Continue. I'm loving
Right.
it.
So what she said basically is that she said part of the reason why Amazon is so wealthy is because they're very, very tight with their money. So what she said is for small groups, she said they are so tight with them. You know, she said sometimes they might give them a budget for 10,000 for the whole year, and any kind of programming they're going to do, they have to try and pull it out of there. She said she didn't know when the next budget cycle would be coming up, but she said right now her group doesn't have any money, but she did say she wanted to hook me up with some other people. Because BAM is worldwide, and some of it might be BAM and some might be some other things. So my question
Gotcha.
to you on that, like, and I already followed up with her and the one from Amazon in one email saying, you know, it was great meeting you for dinner, you know, yada, yada, yada. So my question is for Microsoft, because you told me to make sure I get that, you know, at all costs, because it's Microsoft, even if I have to take it unpaid, what I want to know is, do I offer, you know, kind of like how you've helped me language before, saying, you know what, I believe so much in what the organization is doing and your goals and everything. So how do I respond to her as far as, since she's telling me that, you know, that they have no budget in her department now, and that she doesn't know when it's going to come. So I want to know how to respond, how I can reach out to her, follow up again about that. But I also want you to keep in mind, and I'll get to the Amazon person. The Amazon person, they do have budget, but the two of them are very tight. So they're going to talk to each other. So if I tell Microsoft, hey, you know, I can do something for no money, you know, she's going to tell her friend that. And I know they have budget because she wanted Amazon because she already told me that they do. So.
Okay, but she told you that basically they do have a budget, but it's very limited. So you can't expect to get a training for $10,000 from them, because sometimes their whole yearly budget is 10 grand for training and development. So here's how you play this. This is going to be one of those things where, and listen, I got underpaid for the NFL Heinz Field Pittsburgh Steelers PSSI Stadium. Okay, they do not like to spend a lot of money. But the picture of me standing on the Pittsburgh Steelers logo literally has made me in Austin millions of dollars.
Right. And I know to have, like you said, for me to have Microsoft on my resume or my, you know, places. So that's why I want to know, how do I language this next follow-up with her?
That's going to be going back to the speaker negotiated menu. And you're gonna, you know, so what you would do is, if you know they absolutely, like, they made it so clear, like, we don't have a budget. That's typical of a lot of corporations. They will tell you that sometimes. It's okay. How important is it for you to get that logo in your speaker info kit as one of your clients? Because see, everybody else isn't going to look at it like perhaps you're not getting compensated. See, remember, I keep telling everyone, and Samantha, I do see your hand up. Thank you so much for your patience. I keep telling everyone, under the right circumstances, if the White House called me right now and said, hey, we need you to come do something. I've never spoken at the White House before. See, I want to do something different. So if the upside is huge, and only if it's huge, am I going to do it for something like that? Or unless I have a relationship with somebody that wants me to come support something in such a way, and I have the time and it's not taken away from anything that I'm doing. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I heard you when you said they don't have a budget. But in order for me to gain more experience and understand what you do, if you're open to it, I'd like to offer you a free training. But if I do this, here's what I'm going to need. So maybe that training is going to be on site. Obviously, you're going to get them to videotape it for you. When you get on site, you're going to take pictures right there under the logo. If I were you, I would hire a photographer to roam around with me to cover the entire event if they don't do it. If it's a private event, like on site, and you got to deal with security and all that kind of stuff, either they may have a production team to cover it for you, or you might be in a position where they will grant you to have a guest But if you're doing it on site, you got to deal with security issues and things of that nature. That could be challenging. So you might want to just.
I'm not sure also if it would be online training or in person. I think it might be online.
Okay, online is fine, but
I'm
still.
also going to be back in Seattle in January, so it might be in person. But
Okay.
between now and the end of the year, if I can get something, online or something. So
Okay. Either way, you can still put that feather in your cap, and you still got the client under your belt. See, a lot of times when the client is forcing, I mean, when it's friction with budget, and that they just simply don't have it for whatever reason, and that may be shocking, but you just heard what she said. She
right.
said the reason why they are so wealthy is because they're tight with budgeting, and that's okay. So the upside with both of them, yeah, they are going to talk, and that's okay. So when one of them will open up a budget and then it's an opportunity to take it, then you take it. If not, right now, what you're more concerned about is getting the logos. If I were you, I'd be doing by any means necessary. I would lock down both of them logos, and then I would have them right there forefront on my speaker info kit. Them 2 logos alone, even if you get 1 out of the 2, that is going to make you so much money, because remember, marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. And the rest of the meeting planners are not going to sit there and say, oh, they pay her they don't know. No one knows. It's the packaging. It's the fact that you can say, that's my client. I serve them. Just like I can say that I serve Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, McDonald's, Burger King, Verizon. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of those were not perfect scenario, highest fee gigs, but I still got them under my belt. See, Tyco and Allstate, and I could go on and on and on. I mean, sometimes if you can't get them at the highest level where they have the budget, sometimes you got to go down to when they're having a local meeting. But the bottom line is I still got the client. Right. I still provided service to a major corporation. They found value in what it is that I do. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And right now, you were in talks. See, 3-4 months ago, you weren't in talks with major corporations like that. But now you are. And I told you it was going to happen. And now it's here. So by any means necessary, get both of those deals closed. If they don't have the budget, if you know they don't have the budget, then go to the speaker negotiate menu and say, hey, look, I got a way to make this work. I know you said you didn't have a budget, but I got a way to make this work. Would you be open to me putting together a presentation? And I did it for you pro bono. But what I'm going to need, if I do that and you say yes, what I'm going to need out of it is, and that's the video, the pictures, maybe potentially doing one. If I do this for free, I want to do one online and I want to do one on site. Now I'll be back in Seattle. Can we arrange it so I can do it on site? And watch this. You can just keep it to an hour. You don't even have to give them a half-day training, full-day training. Keep it to an hour, 2 hours max. Get in there, hit them hard, take the content, move on to the next client. Now, when you show them what you can do, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be talking to each other. They're going to be, oh, Lisa just came in here and she crushed it. And it's going to open up the opportunity for them to pass your name around to other people in other organizations that they belong to. You see how this works? Right. Activity equals what, Lisa?
Productivity.
Activity equals what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. There's something wrong with the audio. Activity equals what?
Activity equals productivity.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Yeah, just one quick thing. So on the Amazon, which she says matter of fact, when her friend said about Microsoft being so tight, she says, wow, I feel like Amazon is the other end because they spend lavishly for programs and things like that. So that person, she's in charge of the Amazon Global Military Affairs team.
Yep.
Because she's a military spouse. And by the way, the other person is too, which is how they met. So she said that they're very big on women's empowerment. So she was really impressed with the things I had done in that area, overcoming the perception about, how people of color perform. And they're doing lots of support for different groups, including, military families and LGBT, and they do a month-long women's history program and all that. So for her, and I don't have her phone number. The Microsoft lady, I have her phone number, so I can call her, but I don't have the other ones. So for the Amazon one, should I just follow up based on the conversation, what we talked about, and just kind of ask her where they are on their next programming needs, or?
Yep.
Okay.
You need to in both of these scenarios, you need to arrange the needs assessment call, do more listening, and then negotiate. I'm going to say this, and I need you to really hear me. Everything you're going to do with them at this stage in the conversation is all about negotiation. If you do not ask, you don't get. You have to be very skilled at properly placing an offer. And if there's no money on the table, you already told you where the value is. The value is in one client, one high profile client like that literally will change the whole dynamic of your entire speaking career, but it's because it's going to attract more. Oh, damn, wait a minute. Microsoft is one of her clients. I remember when I'm only mentioning NFL, Heinz Field, Pittsburgh Steelers, PSSI Stadium, it's all the same thing. I'm only mentioning it because when I got that client, people was like, damn, this dude, he on a whole nother level. I was speaking in North Africa, and somebody offered me a magazine cover because they knew I had that client. They was like, damn, KTR, we want you to be on our magazine cover back in Maryland. We're launching an inaugural issue. We want you to be we want you to be the face out the break. Okay, great, no problem. See, I don't have to come looking for opportunity when I build it the right way. It's going to come looking for you. Your brand is winning. Your authenticity is winning. Your ability to connect with your clients is winning. Your ability to listen is winning. Your charming personality is winning. The fact that you're so unassuming. See, you have such qualities that soften up the client. You're extremely easy to work with. You're winning. You're not afraid of the hard work. You're winning. The client is seeing it in front of their face right now, and they respect it. That's the only reason why you're in this position right now, is because you did the work. So now it's all about negotiating. So watch this. Anything that you can dream of right now that you would want to offer them if they don't have the budget, you need to be putting that together. If you need me to help you put it together, what do you have to do, Lisa?
Send a support ticket.
That's it. And I will help you put this deal together so you can get those logos on your website that is going to attract years worth of business. All you got to do is play your cards right. The only thing you need to do right now is negotiate key points to close both of these deals. And you got them right where they need to be. They're communicative. They're returning your messages. They're talking about budget, especially the other gentleman, by the way. He's talking about budget. And both of them at least want to know more about your service because there is a need there for both companies. Now, you know, Microsoft, they do got deep pockets, and they do heavily invest in training and development. So you just have to be able to follow the path and see where it goes. Anything else you want to add?
One thing to add here, I think Kevin's spot on. I would not even add any friction around getting a fee, because every single deal that you do from here for the rest of your life is going to become at least 5 times easier to close from having one of those logos on your site and using one of those as a case study. And not only that, you can go to them and say, hey, this first one's free, and just keep it a shorter training, right? And then they're not going to just expect you to do them free forever. So you could, if you set the expectation up front, hey, I normally charge $5,000, but I'm doing it for free. But it does require that, because they don't just let people loosely use their logos and marketing materials. So you need to make it very clear up front. I get to use your logo on my website and wherever I want. And that's going to be hard enough to get them to allow that. So just keep that as the main focus. But by the way, when you get into that room, there's going to be people from other departments that you're doing the presentation in front of. You know, if you close Amazon, you go in there, there's going to be other department heads or people that are so inspired that just talk about it, that you're going to be able to go to other parts of Amazon and close deals within Amazon. And they won't expect you to do it for free because you already did it once for free. So I would take Kevin's advice and do whatever it takes to get those deals closed and do it for free, because it's going to make you millions of dollars for sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. This is why we
Okay.
always say thank
Yeah.
you, bro, for
you.
injecting that in there.
Okay. Thank you both. I really appreciate it. And I will write up some draft emails and send it to you on a support ticket tomorrow.
Remember, keep it simple. Keep it
Right.
simple. At this point, it's not about strategy. It's about negotiation.
Mhm.
And right now, you just need to make the request. If the budget's not there, this is if we're going to advance this, this is the plan that I have about moving it forward, and then get them to say yes to it and put a date in place, and then you got it all locked down.
Okay.
Because it sounds like they already want to say yes to it. But again, when we start putting the friction in there,
Right.
that's when negotiations and talks start falling apart. So don't put the friction in there. Keep it simple. Send the support ticket and we'll help you close it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you both.
All right, Lisa, love you. Great job. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Outstanding. It's like when I say outstanding, as I'm Samantha, how are you tonight? As I'm saying outstanding, I'm talking about like Gap Band outstanding. If you don't know what the hit song is, Outstanding by the Gap Band, you need to Google it and you need to listen to it. Because I'm talking happy, exciting, outstanding like that. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you follow the system and you tap into the mechanism. This shit is for real. I've been telling you this from the beginning. We're not faking over here at speakerfocus.com. We're not playing games. We're not take a little trip. This is not Alice in Wonderlandville. This is not a fantasy. We live the dream for real. And we are more than happy to help you live yours. All you got to do is take action and be an active participant. Sam, talk to me. How you feeling this Monday?
I'm feeling great. Happy Monday, everyone. Well, KTR, I celebrate your 15 pounds. Congrats. Keep pushing and keep progressing toward your health and wellness goals.
Thank you so much. Coming from a health and fitness professional like yourself, oh, I take that as a compliment, Sam. One day at a time. Continue. What's your question or comment or your win or your question?
Yeah, so my win is, oh my gosh, like I finally locked in my 4 signature programs. And super excited about that. And I did for those, I love the various levels that are on the call because I'm able to benefit. And so based off of me finally getting to that level of progression, for those who haven't built theirs out, I guess one of the biggest things for me was it is such a large task that it has to be broken down. And what I did was I broke down just the first 3 bullets for each one initially, so I could get a win in there, because just the way that the human brain is wired, I had to get a win. And then I broke out 2 signature programs and then got that approved and then added on the other 2 after, just because like I had to get the wins along the way. It took a little bit longer, but when I tried to do it all in one instance, like I really faded at the end. So for those who are building out, that's my tip of the day. So now that I have the signature programs, and this is my comment centered around Showcase, which is in less than a month.
Yep.
And because I'm planning now, I'm like, all right, so I gotta get, like, as far as getting ready, I don't know who else on here is getting ready for Showcase, but I know I am, and I'm probably not the only one. Like from a readiness perspective, like what does that look like? I mean, I'm looking for some overall guidance on preparing for Showcase.
Absolutely. So those speakers who are going to be showcasing on October the 6th. We have a showcase coming up in less than 30 days now. We're getting very excited for those who want to showcase. It may be a couple spots left. The one in January is registration is almost full for that one as well. And we're probably going to have to add another day in January because people know they need it. They need the footage. So I'll come back to that. So if anybody wants to showcase and you want to find out more information about it, we send emails out. And if you want to know more, then we'll send you some information about it. So Sam, this is how you should be preparing for showcase. Now, and I'm just talking to you in specific right now. This is for you, not anybody else. And then the reason why I'm talking to you is because you are multi-talented. And so I'm gonna break it down. So we have the aviation professional, and then we have the fitness professional. And we also have a woman who is a minority, and she also happens to be a business owner. So like there's so much value in, you can go in a lot of different directions. So I'm going to say, what is the thing that you want to show your target buyer that you've never shown them before? That's the thing you should be focusing in on when it comes to showcasing. See, I'm creating this environment with Auston. And the reason why we created this event is because what we want to do is show you at your very best. And I believe, in my opinion, when my opinion is from a strong observation of the marketplace, is that when I've seen these showcases happen before, no one is stepping in, talking to the speaker, prepping them so they can have a nice polished message, so that when you do get your footage, we're putting you in position where you should be speaking about stuff you want to show the target buyer that's going to be paying you the $5,000 to $10,000. Are you with me so far?
Correct. Yep.
So what I would be respectfully requesting is that you zero in from now until the showcase, you zero in on your core leadership message that you've never shared in front of an audience before, and that you go in and pull out the most important elements out of those approved signature programs. And that's what you should be creating, your 2 or 3 talking points. And then you want to get that in a bottle. And I'm going to tell you, Samantha, this is going to be so powerful. So for the 10 minutes or so that you're showcasing, what you want to do is you want to be able to speak in power phrases and sound bites, because it's going to be over fast. But you know what's going to happen? When the footage is edited, then we take the very best of what you said and make a sizzle reel. And let me tell you something. See, the reason why you want to focus on 10, you want to have, I call it 10 minutes of power. You want to hit them hard. You want to focus on all the key takeaways. You want to focus on the bullets. Why did I have you design the signature programs the way we did? Because you want to be speaking to your audience in power phrases and sound bites. Sam, what's going to happen at the end is we're going to capture lightning in the bottle. And all you got to do is just get up there and do what you're most passionate about. So 2 things, Sam. Let me simplify this for you. What are you most passionate about in your signature programs? And what have you never shared in front of an audience before? That's what you should be focusing on for your showcase. You got it?
Got it.
Those are the 2 things I want you to think about that over the next couple of days. And then I want you to simplify, Samantha. I just want you to take one signature program, or you can take elements from maybe 1 or 2 of your signature programs. And if you say, okay, you know what? See, I'm gonna share with you what I think about, as I have showcased on many platforms before. This is what I think about when I'm showcasing. What outfit have they not seen me in? Because presentation is important, Samantha. You already know that. What outfit haven't they seen me in? Because I want to capture some footage of that, right? Then what haven't I talked about? How can I put a different spin on my focus strategies for success? How can I present myself as a leadership speaker? How can I show my new level of growth? Because Samantha, let's face it, you are not the same speaker as you were 2 months ago. You're a different kind of speaker now, especially after the work that you've done on your signature program. So Sam, I will be focusing in on getting the new See, the excitement that you feel from creating that messaging when I said approve, I will be focusing in on that. And then do the best job you can do at your exterior presentation and your messaging, and let us do the rest. See, that's why we're creating the environment. And that's why you need to be red carpet ready. You need to be ready for the dinner we're doing in Morton's the night before, because I'm gonna have all my camera people there. We're gonna have it lit up in there like it's a celebrity event. And also, we're gonna be networking. We're gonna be talking. You're gonna be networking with some of the best subject matter experts in the world. Then when it's actually showtime, the day of the event, I'm gonna be doing your red carpet style celebrity interview and then giving you the testimonial. We're gonna be doing those early morning, and then it's gonna be showtime. See? And then I'm gonna pair the speakers so that we create like a nice little friendly competition. And I'm gonna be giving you the Michael Buffer style introduction. So when it's your time to shine, and all my boys are gonna be walking around with the floating camera, with the still camera, and it's gonna be other cameras there getting all that footage. And then the photographers are gonna be there taking all the still shots. And we're just gonna capture you doing your thing. Because see, a lot of you are going to be nervous prior to showcasing, but don't worry about it. All you have to do is just do your job and let us do our job. And the end product is going to be you getting some excellent footage and still shots and the testimonial and the red carpet interview of the entire event. And it is going to be absolutely amazing. That's what you should be focusing on right now. I'm getting excited, Samantha.
I'm excited too. Now you're talking about fit. That was already a thing, but now I'm like, I gotta know what kind of background you have so I'm not clashing.
Black is going to be the background this time. We were going to go with presidential blue. I'm going to send out an email with all those logistics in there coming up this week. Me and my team are just finalizing everything, but the background is going to be black with the piping, stage lighting, professional sound, everything. So I'm with you. I'm like black background. You know what pops on a black background? Color and light colors, but it's getting ready to be fall. So, you know, I don't know. I may feel burnt umber. I may feel some burgundy, some maroon.
Look, you got enough reels. You all right. You don't gotta pick your color. The rest of us regular folks, we'll pick our colors, okay?
I may feel some peach. I don't know. Some watermelon. I don't know. But Sam, I'm going to be hosting. So I got to get just as excited as you. And because guess what, Sam? I'm going to be hosting 4 sets. So I'm going to have a wardrobe change every single set. You know,
and that was going to be my next question, because we got to look different on the interview, right?
Because you can if you want. But see, my thing is, why waste the footage?
Exactly.
I don't need to stay in the same thing, because guess what? I'm going to take footage from that and use it for my sizzle reel as well. See, you got to make it count and you got to work smart. So yeah, if you want to, watch this. If you tell me that, hey, I'm going to wear something different in my red carpet interview, then fine. Then I'm not going to have you go first, being the first speaker. See, I'm going to communicate with all of you and talk about all this stuff. So if you need to wear something different, fine, get a wardrobe change in. Why not? See, I think like an entertainer, not like your average speaker. I'm going to make the most. I got cameras all over the place. Oh, I got cameras at dinner. I got cameras at the red carpet style interview. Oh, I got cameras at the event. I got cameras when we're all networking out in the lobby. Oh, okay. To me, I'm thinking different outfit, 4 or 5 different wardrobe, because I'm hosting, so you don't have to get extreme. So maybe you change twice. I don't know. All I know is that when I'm seen in the different outfit, you think it's a different event that I was at. You don't think that it's the same event, but I am known for getting the most content out of one event. And that's all it takes you to do is just play it smart.
All right.
Sam, all I got to do is really, if I really want to get technical, all I got to do is change jackets 4 times. That's all I got to do.
Yeah, it's easy for you as a guy.
It's easy, but it's also easy for you as a woman. All you got to do is just come with the right kind of fit changes or whatever, and you can pull it off. Sam, the last thing we're worried about is wardrobe with you. You always dress fly. Come on. Are we serious? Are we serious about this? We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
I just need to know what the background was. So I agree. I'm gonna make my orders and get my stuff ready. So
All black. But for the one in January, the one in January, we're probably gonna have presidential blue. So, but for the first one, I know that the production guy said it's gonna be black, draped over the piping. Probably the one that's going to be velvet presidential blue for the one coming up in January. But at any rate, the black is still going to be fly, and you're still going to be able to pull it off no matter what you're doing. So with that being said, did you have any other wins or anything you want to share before I get to Rico?
yeah, the other thing that I did want to share. So prior to getting on board here, there was a gig in Canada that someone had inquired about. And the flow of it has been real interesting because I gave her a price, and back then I really didn't have anything, and I didn't have the programs or the documents.
Okay.
And I just want to share that it got delayed, but I'm so happy it got delayed because I'm not pressed to do it or not do it. It really makes no difference to me. It's one of those things where it would be nice, but if not, I don't care. I mean, it'll be nice, but it's not making or breaking me. But she messaged me the other day and said that she didn't have budget. She needed to get the budget from her director, and that she needed to wait on that. And I was just like, okay, just keep waiting. I was like, the price might go up by the time you finally lock everything in, because we didn't do anything formal. So it was just real interesting that came, and it's a slow process, but I'm happy it's slow because I don't really want to do anything right now because I'm really just building up all of the foundation and getting all the tools together.
Exactly, Sam. I love your mindset, by the way. A lot of times we rush into things when we're not ready, or when we need to let some stuff breathe that we're doing right now. For example, I cannot wait until 2023 because my tour schedule is going to start picking up. I've been turning a lot of stuff down, or really haven't been pressing the gas go, because me and Austin got a lot of things in the background going on that we need to see out fully. And the showcase is one of them, but we got a couple other things that October is always our planning period anyway. Whatever we're going to do for the following year, we always work that out in October. And we're going to take maybe one or two things, one new thing on our plate that we've already decided, and we've got our entire 2023 campaign already laid out. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because you're in a good position right now, that you're getting training, you're developing, you're building your brand, your signature programs have been approved, you're moving on to upgrading your website and making sure that it's meeting planner friendly and leadership centric. Excuse me. You're moving on to getting ready to lay out your entire speaker info kit and getting your speaker video demo. Getting footage from the showcase is going to make your speaker video demo that much better. So, excuse me. That being said, it's good that you have the patience to play the long game, and that you're not rushing in taking these opportunities. Because I can tell you this, you're right. By the time you actually do get ready, you're going to have all the leverage in the world. So you're going to be able to have a different kind of pricing conversation with them. Just like you heard Alex, if you were on at the top of the Q&A, Alex is getting what he deserves in the marketplace because he knows how to ask for it. He was taught how to have the proper pricing conversation. And this is where speakers falter a lot because they're too shy. They don't know how to have that conversation. They don't know what to ask for. And the training, Samantha, again, I'm going to take my hat off to you because it's not easy to have the patience to play the long game when you know you're really good. But what I felt you do is grow tremendously over the last 60 days. I want to thank you for allowing us to help you grow, because you're pretty amazing without us. And the fact that you get on these Q&A calls at the level that you're able to perform every day, not only with your career, but your business, and the fact that you want to really grow and you've been growing with us, it means a lot to us. I'm gonna be honest with you, because we don't have women of color in your space that want to crush it, that are crushing it, that want to do business with us and then following what we're telling them to do. So I got to take my hat off to you for that, because it's not easy to follow a system when you're already successful. So the fact that you do have the patience to play the long game is very unusual, because we all want it right now. We all want to grab these microphones, and we all want to get on stage, and this is what we want to do. But there's no getting on stage and making any of those things happen unless we build it. So Samantha, you're putting in the effort, you're getting in the practice repetitions, and you're doing everything we've ever asked you to do. And the long game is going to come. Remember when we first had the conversation, and it was one of the most candid that I've ever had from anybody prior to you joining this coaching program. You know, Samantha, you wanted to understand the why. Well, why do I need to be doing that? And you needed to follow a system that taught you how to do it. So can you just share some insight of how you've grown since you've been on the platform, and what you've learned, and why you speak with so much patience and so much work ethic? And I'm not saying you didn't have it prior to, but you seem to be growing, and I can hear it. I can see it in your work. I can see it in your support tickets, and you show up. So why is it that you show up, and talk to us about how much you've grown?
So I think as far as the growth, I'm confident in what I do, but just the pivot of the realization of what I do and being in the speaking space, like that part, it was just, so I got this new quote, when fears are grounded, like that's when dreams take off. And there was a lot of fear there with new space, because it was just not like, I know what I know and I do it well, but the other stuff was just foreign, and I was just reluctant to be all in. And I'm a very systems oriented person. So I think the growth for me was, I need a formula to follow, because I could plug in A and B and know what C is going to be. Whereas if I don't have anything and I'm trying to figure it out, then I lose interest, and then I don't have confidence in the system anymore. And so really, I celebrate both you and Austin with that, is because of the level of systems that are in place for people who are new and coming up. And it is a lot. Like, I mean, I'm just progressing to level 2 or week 2, which is truly not week 2. And I'm not beating myself up, because I really wanted to make sure that, I think the week 1 really is the foundation to all of the things. And I wanted to make sure that I had a good handle on it before moving on to anything else. And so I just wanted to make the investment, because I believe it's like building a house. Once the foundation is sound, like everything else just stacks accordingly. And I really was adamant about that.
Wow. That's again, those kind of words, Samantha, thank you for trusting us and putting that kind of respecting the system and what we built, and trusting us the way you have. And this is the reason why it's important that at the beginning of the call, if everybody wants to go back and queue it up, when Austin and the tech team get the Q&A of this session up on the platform, go back and listen to what I said at the very, very beginning. Like, you're nothing in this business without your relationships. And what we've been able to do is we've been able to attract the best talent on our platform, because we have real conversations with them prior to joining our platform. We want to make sure that it's a good fit. We want to keep working hard for you. We can't just, it's too many people in the marketplace giving lip service. So if I want you to go out and perform with your clients like this, I have to demonstrate this to you first, but we can't do it by ourselves. So thank you, Samantha, because you've done your part. But I know the type of business professional that you are. You made it very clear. Guess what? If I put down this bread, I'm expecting you to do your part, because the coaching industry, and we have a lot of them on our platform that we do business with. We do business with a lot of consultants. We do a business with a lot of coaches. We do business with a lot of speakers on all levels, all different kind of subject, with all different kind of subject matter expertise. But there's a lot of coaches out there telling you what you should be doing, Samantha, as you didn't try to throw anybody under the bus, but real is real. There's a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, but they're not telling you why. And they damn sure enough ain't telling you how to do it. So all I want from all of our students, and Rico and Vernice, I see your hand up. Thank you so much for your patience and allowing me to take in what our students share with us that are wins and observations, because we're not perfect. But I tell you this, what we strive to do every day is provide support at the highest level imaginable. And we take pride in that, and we work hard, and you see that in our actions. So in a marketplace full of shiny objects, remember this, all of you who are willing to serve at the highest level possible first, and then see if your services are a great fit, and then you're willing to do a proper needs assessment, and then you want to do some listening. Revenue does not happen before any of that other stuff happens. And I learned that when you take pride in all the other stuff that I said, instead of just going in for the kill to get the money first, mark my words, you'll have a different kind of customer experience. Samantha, has that been your experience working with speakerfocus.com first?
Absolutely. 100%. That's exactly what I experienced. I mean, I got value before I signed up with you, and I was already in a program and made a really large investment. And so I definitely was not on the market to purchase anything else.
Yeah, well, we thank you. Again, the belief works both ways. The work ethic goes both ways. I wanted you in this program because I knew you were a worker. I literally assessed talent every day, and I knew that you weren't afraid of the work. I just knew, and this is the part where I have to really extend an extra thank you, because it's not easy to get a professional that is really successful and then get them to relinquish a little bit of control to say, okay, now I trust you guys enough to be able to follow your system. That is not easy. I deal with hundreds of people every month that are not willing to do it because they think they got the answers. So for you to say, hey, perhaps these guys know something that I don't, and for you to be at the point in your career where you've already invested tons of money, and then to come back and say, you know what? And Sam, I'm gonna be honest with you. After our first conversation, and it was about 7 minutes when I just went on a rant. And I typically don't do that, but I feel like I needed to do it with you to get your attention about the marketplace. I just needed you to hear me. And I didn't think that you were going to reach back out to me. I really didn't, because I really came at you hard. But I needed to do that, Samantha, because you and I, we cut from the same cloth. Like if I hadn't of raised the decimal on the volume, you wouldn't have heard me. If I didn't talk to you kind of rough the way I did, you wouldn't have heard me. You'd have just been like, oh, he just like the rest of these guys. But when you reach back out to me and the dust settled, little time went by and we had another conversation. Again, you allowed me to present to you in such a way where you listen to me. And the mentor-mentee relationship does not happen unless somebody is doing some listening. But I had to listen to you first. So these relationships, remember, all of you, relationships is all you have. And your word and your reputation, you better be willing to put your life on it. Because when it works, this is what it looks like. When it doesn't, it's all kinds of trickeration and effery going on. And it's enough of that in the marketplace right now. So, Sam, do you have any questions before we move on to Rico and Vernice, and then we're going to wrap the Q&A tonight?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, Sam, look out for the email before the week is out with the logistics and preparation for the showcase coming up. We are looking forward to meeting you in person and taking the stage with you as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, Sam. Thank you. Okay, man. You know what? Let me tell you something. It's the sharing that chokes me up on a week-to-week basis at this point. I was, excuse me. I was talking to a couple of our students that have been sick and shut in, been going through some struggles. And I told them, I said, you haven't been around on the Q&A in a while. Have you listened to the Q&A? Like speakerfocus.com is a different kind of beast. Like, and the reason why it's a different kind of beast is because of subject matter experts like Samantha. It's a different kind of beast because we have a different caliber of client joining our program. See, like you're dealing with people now at this level And they're sick of the bullshit. Like they are. And like now they want to come do business with us because they know they can have a dialogue about where they are. See, and that is sorely missing. So any of you coaches and consultants out there, think about this for a second. Because people ask us this every single day. Well, you know, how are you and Austin winning? Like, if you don't know, it's just a service. It's the pride in making service number one. This is not some little bullshit terms of service agreement, language, any of this. No, this is for real. And when you show the effort to your clients, they will start coming out the woodwork and they will start supporting your business in ways that you couldn't possibly imagine. But that is not going to happen unless you're willing to put your life on the line, literally, to serve at the highest level possible. It's not no magic potion that you can drink. You got to get up off your ass, open up your ears and your heart, and you got to be willing to get people to another level. It takes work to get people to another level. So what we did was we created a platform where the system and the mechanism was there, where you could listen to us 24 hours a day. There's no excuses. And there's no such thing as stupid questions. Rico, you're up next. Rico, talk to me. Vernice, you're going to be the last call. You're going to be the last question or win or share on this group Q&A this evening, because we're going to wrap it up. I don't want it to go over 2 hours because the way the energy is going right now, if I don't stop myself, it will go over 2 hours. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Hey, KTR. I'm glad to hear all the wins today from everybody. I chimed in at the moment when I'll go back and watch the replay, listen to it, but I chimed in the moment when the great sister Lisa Allman-Ballman, when she actually was dropping dimes and gems and fire and all that stuff. So I'm very excited for her and everybody else as well. Excuse me. Quite a few things I'll just share with you quickly. Last week, let's see. This past Friday, I was a guest on a podcast show called On the Cuff. And of course, they were definitely impacted, and we were talking afterwards, and they definitely wanted me back, but I actually followed the system. Thank goodness the website got redone and all that stuff. Had to go back, fix it up. And I was able to direct them to the free training. Your website changes look amazing, by the way, Rico. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely thank Austin too. Thank you, Austin. He's listening? He hears. He hears. Believe me, those kind of support tickets that come in like that. Yeah. And Rico, I gotta give you your props, brother. You are one of the most consistent with sending in support tickets about technical issues. See, if you want to run a successful sales funnel, you cannot do it without listening to Austin. Every sales funnel he's ever touched in his life has converted into revenue. And that's just a fact. Because you know why? Because he got in there at such a young age. When people were looking at him like he didn't looking at him like, oh, because he was young, he didn't know what he was doing. I knew what he was doing from the first day I met him. Sometimes you got to give yourself credit for being able to recognize what a person's capable of, and then you got to turn them loose and let them just do what they're designed to do. That's what he's doing on this platform, and that's what I'm doing. Rico, I can't help you like he can help you when it comes to technical advisory. I can't. I'm not wired like that. But what happens every time he answers one of your support tickets, Rico, when you got the guts enough to send one in? What happens? Oh, he responds. And even if and here's the thing, even when I was sending it in, and I don't think the response happened right away, but I still had enough of the framework to talk to, or I think I chatted with Webflow, and they were able to help me kind of walk through some things. Then you shared some things, like you noticed, I think your name was still kind of showing up from the template. Yes. When I went to your website with a fine-tooth comb, I said, Rico, in the template up at the bottom, at the top, on one of the couple of the pages, I think the contact page or something else, my name was still appearing.
because
Yep.
you hadn't yet taken it out and replaced it. It's just little things like that.
Yep. And so we went, they definitely kind of helped me too as well. Austin definitely helped me. By the time he probably responded, I kind of, I hit you all back like, yeah, we already got it fixed.
You already
But
worked it out, see?
I wasn't going to stop. I mean,
Hey,
I just,
Rico, hold on, Rico. Doesn't that feel good when you actually don't need Austin's help? Come to find out, I worked it out. Bro, let me tell you something. Wait, watch this. So a couple years ago, Austin switched me over to Apple, all Apple products, tablet, MacBook, and an iPhone, right? And I didn't have the best experience with the iPhone. I liked it, but I didn't love it like I love my Android. So I'm still with the Apple family, obviously. But man, when I was able to call Apple support without having to ask Austin and they helped me, man, bro, it's like I got this biggest breakthrough. It's like, man, I did it. I did it on my own without having to send Austin a message. See, and I'm sharing that with you because Austin's is going to help you directly and he's going to help you indirectly. Sometimes it is reaching out to Webflow tech support. Sometimes it is reaching out to Apple. Sometimes it is looking at a YouTube video. But the bottom line is the baseline of help is always there and it never goes away. And that's why we created this platform. And this is why I told you, we're a different kind of beast now. And it's because of upping the ante on the support tickets. Is because a lot of people are breaking through their fears and they are, engaging more. Is really important. And the way you have success on this platform is through support. So continue, Rico.
Absolutely. And so I did connect with a gentleman on LinkedIn about 2 months ago. He kind of find out he actually just got up on the board of Fast Company, I believe. And also as well, he just got put on as the marketing director and board member for the Houston chapter of the NSA.
Nice.
National Association. And so he and I have been dialoguing, and he actually is going to he wanted to set up a time for me to be on with him via LinkedIn, like live, because he wants to share or hear everybody else to hear what he heard in our conversation concerning identity leadership.
Oh, nice. He has, so he has, LinkedIn live accounts it's difficult to get approved for a LinkedIn live account. So clearly he has some type of audience, or he's got some kind of leverage there. That's a great tool. When will you be doing that interview, or have you already done it?
No, I haven't done it yet. I believe we're looking at November.
Nice opportunity. Rico, again, this is the second week in a row that you've shown up on the Q&A, sharing an example of how people are really starting to lock in to your identity-based leadership. Rico, remember when you were of the mindset like I was for the first 7 years of my career? Remember when you were just, yay, I'm a motivational speaker, and you were struggling with your messaging? This is before identity-based leadership ever came about. But then you start sending in some support tickets, and I started doing some digging, and I said, damn, this guy got gear. He has merch with the thumbprint on the shirt. Then all of a sudden you sent me one. I was like, he lives, breathe, he eats it. He lives this for real.
Absolutely.
I said, Rico, if you don't start taking a deeper dive into identity-based leadership, and you don't get that out there to your clients, I will never, ever speak to you again. Remember when I sent you that message, Rico?
Yep, I sure did.
And now look at how everyone, Rico, they're like, it's almost like they're boxing you in. It's like they're diving on you. It's like they can't get enough of you. Rico, identity-based leadership, literally, bro, it's like the Beatles back in the day. It's like an invasion happening right now. And it's like wherever you take identity-based leadership, they're ripping your clothes off, bro. How does that feel? Like they really giving you love right now.
It really feels fulfilling because you understand that this mission is much bigger than my own ambition.
Rico, it's a movement, bro.
Yeah.
See, when I say something to you, I'm not trying to be right.
Right.
I don't give a damn about being right, ego, none of that. I listen to the best subject matter experts in the world every day. I'm learning and growing.
Yeah.
I don't need to be right. When I tell you to do something, Rico, it's because I see where it's going. I knew that identity-based leadership was going to blow up. Listen to the way you're talking about. Remember, it's not about what you say about yourself.
Right.
Listen to what the feedback is from the marketplace. What is the marketplace telling you? What is the marketplace saying about identity-based leadership? What is the marketplace saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give me the direct quote, Rico. Give me the feedback. You put it out there. What's the marketplace saying about identity-based leadership right now? Talk to me.
Oh, I got it right here. I got it right here because I sent it to you. Matter of fact, I really like what you're sharing. Very encouraging to me. I love the language and style you're speaking, profound. It's like spiritual biblical truth, but using English rather than the other stuff.
See?
Your free training, and that was amazing.
See? That's fact. That is the direct quote, feedback. Somebody took your training. See? Who taught you how to do that, Rico? Austin.
Yep.
I didn't see that. Wasn't me. That was the script. You followed the script.
Right.
You followed the highly converting sales funnel. You followed the script and you followed the blueprint and you created your own. And now look at how the marketplace is responding to you. You know why? Because you did all of this. See, free work. Listen to me very carefully. Putting in the effort and doing all this stuff for free. You made it, oh man, a lot of people are thinking, oh, I'm not making any money from this right now. Why am I doing this? You need to understand the why.
Yeah.
Rico was struggling with understanding the why. And then all of a sudden, watch this. He kept submitting support tickets. He kept submitting support tickets. He kept submitting support tickets. And all of a sudden, now he's starting to look at it in a different way. Oh, that's what Austin's talking about. Oh, let me just click this button in here and fix that. Oh, this is the reason why I need to have the video sales letter. This is the reason why I need to offer the free training on my website. It's another offering, Rico, to keep your clients engaged. Value, identity-based leadership, value. That's all they're feeling. That's all they're getting. That is the feedback. That is the assessment that they have made about doing business with your brand, Rico. You making them feel comfortable, bro. When the client feels comfortable, the next thing coming is the money. Do you see how this works now?
I see it now. I listen. Let me share that. I got a couple other things. When I know we got one more person behind me, but listen.
It's okay. We don't have to drop it all right at 8, but I just need to, we just need to bring it to a. If it's okay, though, no, you take your time because my God, have you earned it?
Listen. Last week, okay. So I also definitely crushed module 5, of course, and I've been listening to.
That's my boy.
I know it, right? And he was talking about 30 on LinkedIn, I believe, 30 contacts. And so last week, I definitely I went on with it. I believe I did 60 last week, I think 230 days. And of course, those 60, definitely I love the way the CRM worked with Pipedrive, being able to plug them in. And
you're getting dangerous with it, Rico.
Man, listen, I think out of 60 contacts we added them from LinkedIn to Pipedrive. Those that responded, excuse me, and connected, I think was 9. We slid out of those 9, we slid them over to the connection request accepted. And then out of those 9, we did 3 that we moved them over to the first message sent. So there's still more people improving. There's still people that are coming, but we're not stopping.
Rico, listen to me.
Go ahead.
You know your income is getting ready to go up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You like that? This is what we know is fact, correct?
Yes.
You're gonna keep on doing the work, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. I'm just wondering.
Oh, absolutely. Now, this is the one that I really wanted to share with you. I text you this.
Mhm.
I know when it was going, you'll probably see it afterwards. I reached a point, even though yes, things are happening. You know how sometimes you could, you know, sometimes you can see it seems like it's not being as effective on what's in front of you, but you know, look back behind, and then you see like what ground was tread. I felt some kind of way, I think Tuesday of last week. I don't know, man. I was just in a funk, man. And I felt like I want to say breakdown, but I felt discouraged because sometimes I felt like I wasn't being heard. And let me tell you what happened, man. My high school principal, who I haven't seen since I graduated 25 years ago when I shook his hand May 22nd, 1997. He messaged me on Facebook. He said, I got something for you that I made sure I want you to actually come get. For your appreciation for being in the service, in the Navy, and I've been following you for quite some time. We met up. KTR, he gave me an original portrait that he painted that is the United States Navy logo, the United States flag, and if you look, it has like nails in it that has like red paint. It's like dripping blood.
Wow.
And he drew, and he said, I want to say, look, you have really inspired me. And he says, listen, he asked me what I'm doing. I said, yes, I'm in professional speaking now. And he said, I'm glad to know that because you always had that presence, even when I saw you in high school. And he led me to a guy. I didn't know who this guy was, best-selling author, but apparently they know each other some kind of way. He said, listen, why don't you reach out to Andy Andrews? I said, Andy Andrews. I said, okay. New York Times best-selling author. So he's like, listen, you just never know what can happen. Reach out to him and see if you can be on this show and let him hear what it is that you have. Then, not only that, I sent the note to you. Not only with the pic, and you check your text, but you hear a testimonial that he gave of me, even on Facebook. And he even put the site in his testimonial. Do you know, I know we don't get big on likes and stuff like engagement. Do you know how much engagement that video or that text already has? That's like almost 300.
Yeah, well, you know why? Because he has a large following. His podcast platform is huge, and that guy is a real player. So when you start getting, watch this, just like it is different caliber of speakers, yes, you got some different caliber of podcasts. You got the newbies that's just starting out, and you got the people that has a really, really large platform. Sean Crane is the special guest celebrity speaker at our October showcase. Wow. Sean has been on some, I'm talking huge platforms. I'm talking, these guys have millions and millions of followers. I can't remember the main one that he's been on, but I'm going to put that in his introduction because Sean has worked very hard, just like you, with activity. See, a lot of times, see, those who are skilled at it, you got to keep that activity going for yourself if you're attracting it. See, some people's brand, see, your brand, it's the brand, Rico.
Yes.
They want that brand on that platform because they realize that it's different. See, you don't need to stretch to be different. Everybody's trying to figure out how to be different, bro. All you got to do is be yourself. Right. And when the brand, they're going to find the differentiation inside of the brand. Right. And that's what they're seeing. And that's why they want it on their platform. And you're getting exposure and you're able to share it. And that's how it starts to happen. One podcast wants it, then another podcast wants it. It turns into a speaking opportunity. And then it turns into something else and something else. Bag of microwave popcorn is heating up, bro. And if you look at the track record of anybody who is successful. And I have dedicated the last 35 plus years to studying the top 3% of the most successful people in the history of our world. You can go back to Genghis Khan, go back to when Jesus was walking the streets. Anybody who has had documented success about their leadership character, I have dedicated my entire life to studying these people. Enrico, every last one of them at their greatest heights and their greatest successes have always come off of their biggest failures. And the reason why you're going through hell right now, brother, and walking through them hell fires is because it's getting ready to blow for you. So now your character and your will and your ethics and everything got to get tested. And you've been able to endure every single one of them pain points. Rico, I suggest you learn how to swim because the floodgates is about to open up. And I'm not even playing with you, brother. You better get ready because the rest of this year is going to be tumultuous because it's coming. But your 2023 campaign, bro, you just been putting in the work to lay the foundation for something that's getting ready to be big. Because all the activity, Rico, that's exactly how it happens for everybody who's getting ready to go next level. I'm extremely proud of you, bro.
KTR, can I say this? Look, and lastly, I'll say I have made changes to my diet too.
Yeah.
I've lived. It was hard, but I eliminated the cakes and candies. I transitioned to alkaline water.
Yep.
I walk, 5 days a week, for about 1.5 miles.
Yep.
And of course, I've transitioned to the Mediterranean diet, pretty much.
Talk to him, Rico.
Yeah. I read a guy by the name of Dr. Don Colbert. I read his book. I'm reading it called Let Food Be Your Medicine.
Yeah.
And he stressed a lot about the Mediterranean diet and different things of stuff. So I've done that. And lastly, I think someone who followed my posts on social media, we got on a call the other day. And they messaged me like, hey, I just want to see how we can work together. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking it's like, how it is, maybe like a newbie or somebody like that. Little did I know, they were like, they studied it and like, what is it that you have that I could learn from or grow from, like, far as coaching? So I was able to ask some questions to get to know them a bit more, gave them a there. Man, next thing you know, we got to meet up and that'll be a coaching client soon. So I just want to tell you, like I said, that you just have to be consistent, even keep going, even when you don't feel like it, because obviously I have this saying now, if I don't show up, the people I'm called to can't grow up. I understand that now. So I'm just very thankful for the opportunity and thankful for the training. I think this has really been one of the best investments I've ever made. And it wasn't by accident, but it was by intention. And so I want to say how much I appreciate you. Thank you for believing in me and being hard on me. Because look, sometimes my natural tendency can be to be laid back and cool, but I can't be laid back and cool because there are too many people needing what it is that we have to share. And so thank you so much for all of you, man. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, man, Rico, we love you, man. Me and Austin believed in you from day one. Doing business is bigger than it being transactional. And, when we take on clients, and thank God we get a chance to choose who we want to work with. And this is why you see so many brilliant talent on our platform, because I can see that in all of you. I see it before you can see it, but I know what kind of business professional that all of you are. And that's what allows you to cross the threshold. And when me and Austin make the decision to work with you, You know, we know that it's a diamond there, and a lot of it's shining. And sometimes it just needs some people just need a little, take it in for a cleaning and just get polished up. And it needs to be developed, you see, into something that's more valuable. And that's really all we're doing, is utilizing our talents and our collective ability to be able to help you and serve you at the highest level possible, Rico. We're extremely proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing and keep the successes coming. And Rico, more importantly, stay in attack mode, stay in attack mode, brother, because let me tell you something, humble cannot reside when you're aggressive at the same time. It's a time and place to be humble. When you're in business, you got to pop that shark fin out the back of your blazer, and you got to stay in attack mode. Do you hear me?
Listen, I hear you, and you saying just what our brother Gilberto tells me all the time. He's like, man, let that beast out. He always tells me that. Let that beast out.
Unapologetically let it out.
Let it out. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you real soon, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime. I love it, man. I love the wins. I mean, I get overwhelmed with progress. And this is for all of you. Vernice, you're up, but I'll share this with all of you. I gotta take Rico out of there. Yeah, I'll share this with all of you. And then we're gonna let Vernice close out the Q&A with her questions or comments. When you serve at the highest level possible, and it's so fulfilling that it will overwhelm you. You either gonna shed tears of joy, or you're gonna have these emotional moments where you're not gonna believe the level that your business is operating on, and the overwhelming support that you're going to receive. And all you did, you didn't ask them for money first. You asked them how you could help them first. And that mindset will make you more money than you can ever imagine. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Because I remember one point when I wasn't there. But if you just wake up every day looking to serve people and help them and uplift them and build them and help them manage things and help them get past their fears and overcome these obstacles and these deficiencies and these limitations, it will change your life like you wouldn't even begin to imagine. Vernice, take us home. How can I help you? And thank you so much for your patience, saving the best for last.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Alexander. I saw that you put in the chat that you're new. You're going to love it here, I promise. I'm also new. I want to just start with a quick win, and then I have a quick question. My win, on Friday, I spoke at a substance abuse symposium, and there were people trying to knock me off the platform because I was the only one who was not a doctor leading a major hospital, and I wasn't a judge. So I was only like, who is this person on the platform at Troyer University here in California? And I showed up and I over-delivered, and I got invited to come to a national conference with 9,000 judges. The medical director who spoke after me said, there's no way I'm going after that. Can we take a break now? So they end up taking a break.
Yeah. Hey, Vernice, put them in a difficult position. You do not want to follow Vernice Cooper after she speaks. Put the stage on fire. Vernice, leave it blown up in particles. That's right. That's exactly what you're supposed to do every time you go out there when there's other speakers on the platform with you. You're supposed to make them up the ante.
It was exciting. And I think, so my quick question for you and Austin is, I haven't even rolled out my signature programs. This is just the work that I do on a day-to-day, because I'm in these spaces. And I guess my question for you all was, do we charge more for the customization, right? Because if I'm going to talk to judges around this very controversial topic around addiction treatment and things like that, do you charge more for the customization, or does that, I haven't got that far in the program, but this is going to arrive before I'm done.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's okay. That's okay, because a lot of times what happens, Vernice, is you're at the stage in the program where sometimes you have to send a little tickler support ticket as a reminder to say, hey, I know I may not be at stage number 4 yet, and I might not be at stage number 5, but the client is ready to pay me. So therefore, we will help you build the verbiage to put that deal together. You don't have to wait till you're actually finished with module 5 in order to, this happens all the time, where we have to help you negotiate. So let me go back to something that you said was real key important, a real important key. And that is, should you be charging more for your services? Well, remember that your fees are your fees. And this is located in module 2. If you're not there yet, in module 2, it's how to have the proper pricing conversation, Bernice. Keep this in mind. I'm going to make this real simple for you to understand how to have the proper pricing conversation. Now, you cannot have the proper pricing conversation unless you finish with module 1 and 2. You have to first substantiate your value through your messaging and your 4 signature programs. And Bernice, if I'm not mistaken, I did approve all 4 of your signature programs. Is that correct?
Not yet. You sent it, sir, for more content.
Okay, you sent them in. I think you okay, I know what you did. You sent in a little tester to see if you was moving in the right direction.
Correct.
Right. And then I know you got, I think you had to go on vacation or something like that. So, okay, I remember. Okay, so watch this. But I do recall that the verbiage from your signature programs, it was not convoluted with a bunch of friction. So I'm like, Vernice, you're moving in the right direction. Okay. You should just go ahead and finish up all of your messaging. Keep in mind, Vernice, that your signature programs your messaging prior to coming into this coaching platform was already disruptive. And I told you that, Vernice, I love that about you, the fact that you are disruptive. So now we're teaching you how to create those 4 signature programs and create those headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions that's going to get the meeting planner's attention. So please, by all means, stay in that lane. Proof positive, you just did another performance that was disruptive. And somebody said, there's no way, we need to take a break. I'm not going in after her. Good. Y'all need to go cool off for a while and think about what I just put on your mind. Okay, so now take that heat and put it in the rest of your signature programs. The second stage to substantiating your value as a high fee speaker comes by way of your sales tool, your website that needs to be meeting planner friendly and leadership centric. That's coming next. Your full-blown speaker info kit, that's coming next. Bernice, if you need to see examples of students who are crushing it with their website, their speaker video demo, and their speaker info kit, oh, I can't wait to see your sales tools. Not only did you have some great footage from some of your other performances that you've captured thus far, but you are also showcasing, and October the 6th is coming up right around the corner. See, this is a really, really good time. And when you get on the other side of the showcase, Vernice, by the way, you know I'm gonna be putting a lot of pressure on you to finish up your sales tools in the month of October. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't worry about it, because your footage that you have is already amazing. But after the showcase, now you're going to get all the sales tools done. Then watch this, Vernice. It's going to happen. It's not a promise. It's a guarantee. After you finish your 4 signature programs, stage number 1 of substantiating your value as a high fee speaker, having the confidence to have the proper pricing conversation, stage number 2, substantiating your value as a high fee speaker, are the sales tools, website, speaker info kit, speaker video demo. After October, you got more content and more experience to put it all together. After that, you're going to have more leverage. And then it's going to hit you. After you do all that work, one day you're going to say, damn, am I actually this good? Does it actually look this good? Do my sales tools actually do it for the target buyer? Do I actually have the leverage? One day you're going to wake up and it's going to hit you and you're going to say, damn right it does. Oh, damn right. Yes, I did do the work. I did follow the system. I have my 4 signature programs. I got everything. and your confidence is going to go to a whole nother level. And this is what the pricing conversation is going to sound like. So when the meeting planner asks you, Vernice, what do you charge? You're going to say, my fee schedule is as follows. By the way, all of this verbiage, Vernice, is in the booking information packet, and we're going to get you there as well. You're going to say my fee schedule is as follows: $5,000 USD for 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour. $7,500 for the half-day program, which is 2 to 4 hours. $10,000 USD for the full-day program, which is 4 to 8 hours. Those are my domestic fees plus business class accommodations, hotel and airfare for 2. I request a $100 meal per diem each day they have me on site. My ground transportation is luxury town car, SUV, or limousine that picks me up to and from the home or tour city destination airport. And if I have to go speak overseas outside of the United States, all the fees double on all levels plus expenses. Vernice, you may not have the confidence to say it like that right now, but I guarantee you, after you finish with module 1 and module 2, and you can substantiate your value and you now have leverage, because you're not going to have to say anything. See, the meeting planner is going to see it just like they see it in Lisa Allman Baldwin right now. I remember when Lisa didn't believe that it was possible. And now she's sitting down at the table talking to Amazon and Microsoft. Leverage is what you need, Vernice, and we are here to provide it for you. Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
Oh, one thing about you, I know for sure, you are up for the work. See, one day, all the work, the payoff, it's going to take a little bit more time, but the payoff for you is going to happen before the year is up. And you're going to go there and blow that speaking engagement up. And watch this. A quality speaking engagement begets another quality speaking engagement. You got anything else you want to share? Any questions or concerns that you have?
No, that's it. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you.
Let me ask you this, Vernice, before I let you go, and then we'll wrap the Q&A. Are you less afraid now? Are you less apprehensive? Have you let go of some of your fears by being a part of this experience thus far?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you concerned? Are you concerned? Are you really concerned that you're not going to be able to get it done?
I'm not. And I mean, I came in to this program already charging $5,000, and I'm ready to take it to the next level. And I believe that will get me there.
So perhaps in the next 30 or 60 days, even when you negotiate that other fee, maybe your bottom keynote should be at $7,500 for the hour or any portion of the hour. Maybe your educational keynote 2 to 4 hours or a half-day program should start at $10,000. And maybe your full day price should be $12,500. Why not? You are worth it. You realize that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vernice,
Thank
we appreciate you. You're very welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for all of your effort and your hard work. We love you dearly. We absolutely adore your work ethic. Vernice, are you bringing your husband to the showcase in October?
I'm trying to get him there.
Okay, please tell him to come. Please tell him to come. It's going to change his life. And he needs to see you crush it in a way he never seen you crush it before.
All right, I'm going to tell him.
Look out, by the way, last but not least, look out for the email coming up about the logistics and what you need to be doing as far as your presentation is concerned. That is coming before the week is out, Vernice. Thank you so much. Sharing is caring. Everyone, man, let me tell you something. I'm talking for those of you who are diehard serious about making changes and dedicating yourself to your speaker business and dedicating yourself to support. Because how do I know you're doing the work? Because you send in the support ticket. And when you show up here, please expect nothing but the utmost level of respect. We're going to get you going. If you're not going right now, we're going to get you going. And we will get you the results. That is a fact. All you got to do, listen, speakerfocus.com is a different kind of beast. If you just look at the Q&As over the last 2 or 3 months alone, we're turning into something different, ladies and gentlemen. And it's all because the effort that you're putting in on the platform. And that's the reason why people are making these deals and getting these speaking engagements with major corporations. And we wish you nothing but success. We love you dearly, and we're here to support you. On behalf of the entire team at speakerfocus.com, keep submitting the support tickets. Oh, if you're not showcasing, you should email me, and you should ask me about the showcase, because this is going to be one for the ages. We're going to make history October the 6th. There's a couple other spots left for that showcase, and the one in January is almost sold out as well, because we got to add another date in January. We are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you same time, same place next week, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday, we tackle the difficult challenges about you growing your speaker business. And we are here to listen to your wins. And man, do we love it when you win. I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. I'll see you next week.